Michael Chen, is the chairman of the International Association of Business Management Simulation. And I'm glad to form this association in this year with 11 committee members from different universities. The International of Business Association is to enhance the business learning. In Hong Kong, I think we are lack of kind of the interdisciplinary learning across different subjects. So we share the same goal. Our 12th committee member is to enhance the business management learning through our AI-based interactive methodology in effective business education for their career development. So this is the main goal that we want to build up our International Association of the Business Management Simulation. And then the second one is to augment techniques used for the development of the learning theory. Because in our platform, we have different level of the business simulation game, range from the platform for the secondary school student all the way to the MBA student. So different students can enrich their business learning or the so-called business experience through our true to life experience learning. And the third one is to promote the professional knowledge from business process integration. This is another main goal that we want to share our knowledge from different parties through our simulation platform. And the next one is to enrich the personal growth and leadership skill in a harmony workplace with congeniality. So we hope to build up a atmosphere with our team member that other than their school study in the university, they also can enjoy to promote this business learning methodology to the community with our efforts. And the last but not the least is to network with the student, natural and industrial practitioners from all over the place through a series of our activities. So these activities is included in our program, so-called the Intelpreneur. That means the intelligence entrepreneur. Okay, so there's a piece of sharing about our IABMS.
So can you describe more about what is this AI-based business management simulations?
Sure. Business simulation, actually business simulation, what some people may ask, what is the business simulation? So business simulation actually is very popular used in the foreign country, like US, European country, in the top tier university as well. It's a powerful AI-based pedagogical system for educational and organizational learning platform. And it is enable learner to be immersed in the business marketplace with the alignment of their critical thinking on the strategy. And then in a way that the student can improve their business acumen and their financial skill, and ultimately improve their logic, creativity thinking, and to progress their decision making. In the system, the student will be given with a lot of different data and the table, like the BI table and a lot of financial statement and the financial ratio and also the business operation information inside. In the way that students need to make a viable solution, how to improve their company business performance. And throughout the learning of our business simulation, the student will touch base with different subject like the HP. This is used for the voting system and the management, the decision-making system, management accounting, operation manage accounting, macro and micro business theory, data analytic, cost structure, and the BI as well. And as I just mentioned, throughout the information given from the simulation platform with like the quarterly financial report, business operation information, and the intelligent tracking data info inside. And the student need to go through a lot of data analysis before they can reaching out the final decision making for their company. And those kind of decision making used for their company is will be input to the in our business simulation platform, so that the team will compete with each other, and the system will report the final business results given by their decision making. And that is so-called our business simulation platform.
I see, I see. Yeah, it sounds like very interesting, and it covers a lot of different area of a business. I believe the anyone who are using this system or joining this community, they will benefit a lot from learning all these different kind of reportings and tools that will eventually help them when they really started to work right in the real working environment. Yeah, so probably I have another questions. Maybe you can share with me the holding numbers of business management simulation completion in Hong Kong so far.
Oh, sure. Basically, I have been holding more than 5 competitions in Hong Kong in the last few years. So we have the latest competition in Hong Kong is the macro business simulation last year in the HKMU, and this year we have another 2 competition for the UG student and also the post-secondary school student, one in the Ivy Kunto and the other one in HKMU. Throughout these 2 competitions, actually a lot of students, they are very fascinated and enthusiastic to join our competition. Just give you a roughly figure. In the international competition, we have more than 100 teams to participate in this competition with over around 400 to 500 students from 9 countries. So that is a very, that is proven that the students are very enjoy and very fascinated to join this kind of virtual business simulation, no matter they can join the competition on site in HKMU or online from overseas. I think they have the same goal that they want to showcase their business acumen in this stage with the students from all over the place. Our business simulation competition is somewhat different from the conventional case competition. In most of the time, case competition, student will be given with a data company financial report that they need to think about how they can polish the business financial performance. But in certain extent, this is driven by their performance skill and of course some very sound creativity solution. But in our business simulation platform, the ultimate result is very much driven by their actual finance, the business decision, and all are reflected to the reality. So something like if you are running a company, a shop in the company with the selling price, with procurement, with marketing, R&D, etc., and what will that you decide to your company, and you will be given with the actual marketing results back from the system. So that is more, how to say, this is a more realistic reflection or the results to the student. So what I found from holding so many competitions in the past few years is that I think in Hong Kong, we are lack of this kind of competition for the student to showcase their creativity, thinking, and their business acumen. So that and also students keep on telling me that this is something that we need to carry on in the years to come. So and that's why I keep on thinking that we need to make it more widely shared to different people in Hong Kong or maybe in other countries as well.
Yeah. So like I said, I think the whole competitions that you are organizing, it's really different from the conventional way of before this. So because I think it brings up the real life kind of challenges in the business to the students, so that they are well prepared, and then they can go to the market after they graduated. So yeah, good job for that. Next, I think before this, I see from your slides there's a special words called Entrepreneur 2022 and 23 program. So can we know more about this Entrepreneur program?
Okay, sure. This entrepreneur program will consist a number of activities inside our program. So that would including the different programs such as the webinar, training, site visiting, competition, and also the kind of the gathering with the lecturer. And so far, it is very great. We can enroll more than 30 professional practitioners from academic and also the industry to support our association. So in our entrepreneur program, starting from this month, so we are planning to organize few competition. The first one is the one for the female, so-called the female entrepreneurs competition. And down the path, we may have another competition for secondary school student and also the international school student. And last but not the least, of course, is the our international MBS competition for the UG and post-secondary school student from Hong Kong and overseas area. So this, and also we will, from time to time, we organize a lot of different webinar that will invite the industrial practitioners to share their experience, their knowledge from the real world, the business experience. For example, supply chain, and also the logistic business management experience to the student, that so that student can know more the real world, the scenario, rather than the book study in the classroom.
I see. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So I think after this webinar, probably there will be a lot of even overseas students who are watching this would like to join the next competitions. So I hope that students from Malaysia will also have a chance to join in the next competitions. Okay, maybe we should let Michael take a rest after a lot of questions from myself. So maybe we can pose some questions to Natty, which is the marketing and promotion director. Hi, Natty.
Hello.
Hello. All right, Natty. Do you see how do you see the promotion of this business simulation market in Hong Kong? Any competitors so far?
Sure. I think in the local market there are no specific competitor in the market, because this kind of business simulation games are more popular in Western and other university in Western, but in local we don't see many professor or many organizations like to use business simulation competition. But instead, I think many organizations have offered many business competition, but none of them are really the same or very similar with us. So I think it's the major reason that I think our platforms are really potential, because none of other organizations are the same with us.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of like agree with you, because from what I know, I don't see much other competitions that are kind of like similar to what you guys are doing. But can you maybe also tell us like what is your role in this IABMS?
Oh, sure. My role, me as a director of promotion and marketing team. So our main role is to promote and attract more members to join our competition and promote our platforms to all the students, not only the university student, but also the professor or the school students.
So your target is basically not just university students. It can be as long as it's a student, right? It can be like high schools.
Yes. Because in our stimulation game, there are several stages and several levels. For the university student or for the advanced student, they are really familiar with the business stimulation game. We will offer them the advanced level, so they will make more decision, and maybe they will need to have more market for them to make decision. Maybe the least one is one market, but for the university student, we always offer them like 4 market. But for the secondary school student, we may offer them like 1 market, and we don't offer them to make many decisions, because in the previous game we offer them to make decision like the inventory, the raw materials, how many money you want to borrow from bank, and how many dividend you need to give the your customer. But maybe for them, we only focus on the trade, like raw materials and how many money you want to set of the price is fine. Just let them to know the basic first.
Yep, I do agree with that. Yeah, I mean, different kind of students, the levels of the student, you should organize different kind of competitions, yeah, to suit their level of thinking. Yeah. Yeah, so talking about promoting, which is, I believe, the major part of your role in these organizations, right? So can you share with us maybe your strategy in promoting these associations?
Sure. Because we are only a startup organization, we need a bunch of promotion because we don't have many members at the very beginning. So also because of the advanced technology, we are putting our focus in a digital way, not really traditional. We will do many talks and we will go to secondary school or go to university to make them to have a talk because of the COVID. So we just make everything online. We just take benefit from the social media like LinkedIn, like Instagram and Facebook. These are the three major social platforms we are going to promote our activities and competition for students, because I am also a student, because we know students usually use the social media like Instagram instead of send them an email to let them have a look. But apart from the social media way, we will also have very close contact with university like HKMU and IFE. They are our supporting organization, and we will send them maybe the information, and maybe sometime they will send a mass mail to all the students so that more students can know more about our organization and our competition. Apart from this too, what Michael have just mentioned before, he has already hold 3 years of MBS competition, because Michael built a really good reputation on the competition. So more students know about our organization because of the previous competition that Michael had hold. Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Yep. So moving on. So I think maybe we can also check with Natty one more questions. I mean, compare with any other association, if there is any, maybe you can share with us what's your advantage here.
I think the very first advantages in our organization is our flexibility, because we are NGO, we are non-profit organization. We don't need to compromise with the companies or the founder who give us money, because all of us are volunteering in this job. So we just need to do what we want to do and just do what we want the student know, and just follow our mission and vision and follow our year plan is fine. We don't need to compromise with many companies. And also, we are not only a local organization, because many organizations in Hong Kong for business students are only for local students. So that sometimes the exchange student or other student, they want to join the competition, they are not eligible because they are not local student, right? But we are an international organization, so we can provide worldwide service to other students, like maybe in Philippines or in mainland, the Greater Bay Area, because we can use Zoom or other platform to give them services. Last but not least, I think as the 5 platform we provide is very important, because we will make a competition for this 5 platform. So I think this 3 is our biggest characteristic.
Yeah. I do believe that going global or international is the one of the advantage that you can present to all your members, because these days, especially when you're talking about businesses, right? It has to, if you want to do it, in a big scale, right? You have to go international and global. Yep. Okay, so I think we have some new members joining in. So maybe I pass the time to Aaron to introduce the members.
Okay, thank you so much. First lady first. Okay, so Simran, okay, do you want to say something that introduce yourself a little bit before we have a lot of questions to ask you?
Thank you so much. First of all, for hosting this and giving us an opportunity to show off a little bit of the hard work that Michael has put in, but also a body that has come together at the end of the day with students, and very much hands-on opportunity for us. A little bit about myself. I am an HKMU alumni as well. So I graduated with a BBA in international business, and during my university study period, I met Michael through competitions, and I joined a couple of his competitions. Obviously, the most recent one being the MBS competition that we're all familiar with. And I fell in love with the simulation game solely because of the fact that textbook knowledge is so limited to classroom settings, and within universities, it's I mean, lots of different factors limit this, but we're not really able to apply our skill sets or our knowledge into the daily applications that you find is required at your future jobs or eventually in your career at some point in time. And decision making, I find to be so crucial, no matter if you're just a newbie in your office or you walk into a managerial role. At the end of the day, you still need that confidence to be able to look from a bird's eye view. That picture or that bigger picture and intertwining all those different business functions is something that simulation games give you, and which is why I decided to hop on board as the director of education research as part of this organization as well, to just pass on that knowledge, that business knowledge, to whoever many people I can reach out to. So that's a little bit about me and what roles I play as well.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, and also I want to introduce Joseph, the president of IAMCP Malaysia. Joseph, please say a few words.
Okay, thank you, Aaron. Hi, everyone. My pleasure once again to be able to be joining this great event here, hosted by Aaron and the team. Thank you so much for having me here today. And I think I was listening and I found there's a lot of interesting things I'm actually learning at the same time while I listen. So I'm actually really looking forward for the rest of these sessions. And thank you for having me. I really enjoy this time. I really want to have more of these sessions to learn more what you guys are doing. And I think it's a great effort to make it happen. Especially, I think the era has changed. So I think we need all these kind of different, efforts to make a different kind of, impact and outcomes toward the community, especially in the business or in technologies. I think it's no longer purely business, but it's a combination of technologies that enhance and also improvise whatever things we used to be doing in a different perspective. I think it's a great effort. I'm really looking forward to more of these competitions, and I think not so much in Hong Kong, in a greater way of China and a greater way of Hong Kong and Malaysia. Could be future Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam. There's a lot of people I believe they are looking forward to what you guys are doing. Share this great effort out, shout and loud to the world that you guys can make a difference with this simulation here. So great effort, I would have to say. And I'm looking forward for more of this event as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Joseph. Okay, so maybe I pass the time back to CK because I do believe that you have a lot of questions I want to ask the student. Okay.
Yeah, exactly, because this session is getting more and more exciting, Right, so I have tons of questions to ask, but we will let Simran to rest first because she just joined in. Let her warm up first. Let me ask some questions to Mr. Hugo, which is the Education's Research Vice President. Hugo, hi.
Oh, hello, CK.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, all right. So we already learn about what is IABMS. then we know how you guys actually are different from any other association out there. But I don't think there is much association that is doing something like you guys is doing. Next, probably we can learn more about the education research. So why do you choose to support this IABMS in education research and taking part in professional activities? I know that you are still a student, so yeah, why do you do so?
Okay, I choose to support both education research and professional activities because of some reasons. First, the primary purpose of education research is expand the existing body of knowledge by providing solutions to different problems in pedagogy while improving teaching and learning practice. Educational researchers also seek answers to questions bordering to learner motivation, development, and classroom management. It's not only theoretical, but also practical for learner and trainer. Okay, second, for professional activities, I hope to provide a better chance for learners to interact with experts in different business domains as we organize different workshops, seminars, social gatherings, activities, competition, etc.
All right, thanks, Hugo. Do you think that disciplinary learning is vital for students before their career development?
Yes, I think discipline learning is vital for students, as discipline learning allows students to have a chance interacting with different students from different schools, professionals, etc. Through different events such as gathering, workshop, competitions, students can know more about the actual situation in the market. And using the competition as an example, they can make different decisions in the simulations. They can learn more about outside from the box. It led them to have different experience and improve their career.
All right. Yes. But also, can you like share with us like what is the professional activities all about, or what are the things that you are doing right in this association?
Okay, professional activities. Officially, we have 4 committees in professional activities as a team. Okay, professional activities is helping to organizing different events. For example, we'll organize different workshops, seminars, conference, and social gatherings. Also, we have competition. We will organize competition that Michael have just mentioned, and lining up with different professional organizations, schools in local or even overseas to make up different events.
Okay. So, meaning to say that if there is any competitions and things like that, you guys will actually be the one that actually helping up to organize the things, seeing it through from start to end.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Lastly, well, what is your expectation of IABMS influence to the educations?
My expectation of IABMS is I hope to line up with different parties in local and overseas, allow students to have a higher chance to learn their best practice in education career prospect.
Definitely, I think with all these competitions, that especially when you say it's not just for locals, it can be involving students from overseas. Yeah.
Yes.
We are confident. Yeah, I'm confident that this what you are expected from IABMS will actually realize. Okay, thanks Hugo. Maybe I hope Simran, you are ready. You're
Absolutely,
ready?
ever ready.
All right. Okay, so we know that you are also the education research director. So what is the education research that you are doing right now?
Sure, absolutely. So when we speak about education research, it's really about just business knowledge that we can get across to the wider audience. Now, in relation to the simulation games, most of the time, so that can be in respect to particular business functions. what we call modules within the simulation games. So marketing would be an example for like an article on marketing. However, some concepts could be, we could turn those into articles too, like ROI in marketing. So it's either just wholesome or it's very niche to a particular concept. And the audience will vary 100% just because of the scale and the types of competitions that we'll be hosting. So women in business might be one that we can work on with the, as Michael said, with the women entrepreneurs competition coming up soon. And we have secondary school students as well. So understanding that the nuances of an article or the delivery of an article will be very differently received from secondary school audiences versus university and academic professionals. So just having that, and because there's so many complexities in just the various factors I discussed right now, we realize that it's important to have a separate team just looking at these. To answer your question, one that we're working on recently is related to these concepts that I've spoken about, and just introducing the committee at the moment and what simulation games really are and why it's even worth it to join these competitions. Obviously, there's a lot of people who appreciate these games, but the message isn't spread as far as we'd intended to. So having an article as such, just to explain the applications of simulation games and what they can do. That's something that we're working on at the moment. And then, like I mentioned, down the line, there's so many more articles that we can generate and pull out.
All right. Hey, thanks, Simran. Next question, maybe we want to understand how do you actually connect IABMS to the academic articles?
So as I mentioned about the simulation games, that would be the great starting point. It's about application and knowledge, and simulation, talks about these two, is honestly, I would say, like the epitome of these two merging together. And we want to resemble that in our articles as well, which is why we will have certain jargons that are explained. We will have certain concepts, but also heavily, including this idea of application. And ultimately, the goal of these articles will be to portray how these concepts can be applied on a day-to-day basis. We will use the simulation games as just a benchmark or somewhere to compare against. However, the ultimate goal is definitely world application, which will come from experiences of us being as students, myself being an alumni, a fresh graduate, Michael, and other board directors that we have on the team as well. So there will be a lot of areas to refer back to. And that's why Michael has, gone around, and we've really worked on having a diverse set of board of directors for this very purpose of, linking back to application and linking back to what we can see happening in the daily world, a daily business environment. So that's something that IABMS is really looking forward to.
Sure, thanks a lot. We know that just now when you introduce yourself, you said you are one of the participants, right, in the previous games. So can you share with us, like, what is it so different, like participating in all these games versus having classroom-like learning?
Sure. And that's a great question, because of course, in light of simulation games, but as university students, I think we are very limited to experiences. And when it comes to textbook and classroom learning, it's only one path, in my opinion. You really have a wonderful 3 or 4 year period where you can experience a lot of things. You don't have the burden of, taking care of your family, financial burden, none of that. You have this grace period to go explore. And when you know that you want to explore within business, how can you physically do that? In theory or logically, you would want to have a startup or a venture that you can, make decisions for. You can grow that to a degree, you know, to see how that can play a role in the business environment. But how practical is that, right? What's the closest alternative to that? Well, simulation games. And, you know, from working with your team and teamwork skills, your soft skills, to assessing hard skills, and then eventually, you know, those cognitive abilities where your decision making comes in. And then put that into a competitive environment. So that resemblance really acts as the best simulation. And I feel that that is the best way to figure out how you can, you know, putting all the puzzle pieces together, basically, of all the different chapters and all the modules that you've learned within school, but seeing that in play in a game or in a couple hours at the end. So that's, I guess that's the highlight of a simulation game, really setting out and in a competitive environment, which is the truth of the true business environment as well.
Yeah, I do agree with what you say, because I think when we are studying in a classroom, right, like the classroom or textbook from textbook, right, so many times every single chapters, even though they are some kind of related, but if you doesn't put it into a simulation or practical way, you can't see them joining together, you know. So with all these practical, with all these practical games and simulations, right, then you can see how they actually join together to actually make you a better person when you started working.
Yeah, and I think it even branches off into passion. You become all the more passionate about business when you see how business really works and what you can do physically, what impact you can make yourself as a business woman or a businessman in the future, right? So your teachers or your professors are passionate because they have their own experiences in their own ways, but that passion doesn't necessarily translate all the time. And as students, we tend to lack that motivation at times. You know, we're studying business because, oh, we want a degree at the end. But, you know, when that turns into passion, when that turns into your self-motivation, that, you know, that fire that ignites is, I would say, definitely when you see it happen in practical in front of you and when you're responsible for certain decisions yourself. So that's why I would definitely say my passion grew for business thanks to simulation games as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we are not too sure whether you have participated in any other association like this, but if you have participated, do you find that there's a difference between IABMS compared to others?
Yeah, I have participated in other organizations, and I was president for an organization called Golden Key Society. I think the fundamental difference is that there is one particular or one core vision that IABMS has, where other organizations, it tends to be more students every year, they change whatever core value the society will bring. And I find that having a solid foundation as a starting point, and then every year that value or that vision can just be reworded and there can be new goals set, but having a core vision at the end of the day is really important. So like Michael mentioned in the beginning, it's what we stand for is really just spreading that passion for business, spreading that passion for knowledge across to anybody, all students, of no matter what age we consider them, right? And that being foundation. Then as we branch on, these visions can be changed or reworded to, okay, now women, we want to encourage women entrepreneurs. Well, we want to encourage secondary school students. We want to reach out to primary school students and teach them, you know, about decision-making skills. We want to teach them how to be, you know, I just plant a seed of future leaders into their heads, something like that. So just that vision can be reworded, but I love how it's all about selflessly giving, just spreading this knowledge that we're all really passionate about as being part of this association, and just spreading this word and business, the love for business, to everyone else. So I think just that key value, that core value that really makes up or sums up IABMS is something that's very different to other organizations that I've been part of before.
Great to hear that. Okay, last questions. Maybe okay. Since you're already in this IABMS, right? So what is your goal, right? That you hope to achieve, or how do you think IABMS can help to influence the teenagers?
I would say my role would be to, like, quite literally to produce those kind of articles, hopefully making them engaging enough to appeal to readers of all ages. And as I mentioned about those, the factors, the complicating factors of each and every article, hopefully to be able to control those and produce those level of articles that I intend to, but also really to spread that business knowledge that we're all talking about to everyone and get to those people. We have a lot of competitions in mind, but hopefully we can execute those to that level, simplify certain simulation games to make it appealing to primary school and secondary school students. I remember being in year 10 and not knowing what to do with my career in the future, not knowing which subjects to study for my year 12 exams. So it's a very hectic situation, and just being able to give them a little of a path that, hey, you could be a CEO one day, you could be, a finance manager one day, and these are opportunities. So it's very different when you're speaking to, secondary school students versus university school students who have a little bit more of an idea of what they want to do with their careers. But I want to be able to answer your question, to clarify, to be able to reword these articles in ways that appeal to each audience individually. So that's one thing that I'm going to pay a lot of attention to for the coming year.
All right, thanks Simran for the sharing. I think we started off with Michael, so let's actually end it with Michael also. We have final questions to Michael. So since after all these sharings, right, so we want to know what is the ultimate goal, right, or the near future plan or long-term plan for this entire IABMS. So Michael, can you share with us any plans that you have in hand?
Okay, sure. I think in my mind, I can see there's a gap between the learning from the classroom to the real world. And actually, as you know well, in the school, most of the case is vertical learning and driven by the lecturer. But in the real world, the student needs to master a lot of job by themselves, and also a lot of departmental function as well. So I think simulation can take a role to fill up this gap in between the school study and the real world, that the student can master the professional in the working environment, so that they can perform a better way to deliver the job in the future. So-called is an interdisciplinary learning in the business simulation, that it is inherently driven by the student instead of lecturer, and also with student making connection across the different disciplines, and also synthetically to come up with their own original idea. And this approach with then and that can empower students to see their voice and idea reflect in their academic accomplishment. So being said that, my goal is that I would say that in Hong Kong, maybe less than 1% of the UG students have experience in the business simulation learning, or maybe 0% in the secondary school student, I would say it. So, but comparing to the other country, there is way behind the other country. So in my vision that I want to create a path toward this goal, that more and more students, no matter you are from UG into secondary school or maybe even primary school, okay, even today the primary school student, they also can work on the Python to create their code, to create some interesting program, and I think they also need to understand how they can make a clear thinking of how they can proceed process with their the academic path. So in my role, I will try my best to create this kind of activities, no matter it's a training, no matter it's the competition, as much as we can to the public, so that more and more people in the next few years can reach out how to make a successful business through our simulation. So this is my main goal, to set up the association with my buddy in this association.
Sure. Thanks, Michael. It's really glad to learn you and the entire society have this kind of very noble targets that I believe with these directions you are going the right way, and we really hope that this IABMS will achieve your success. So yeah, I think before we end our interview, right? Maybe I can pass the time to Joseph. Do you want to say something?
Hey, hi, CK. Hi, everyone. I'm back again. I think throughout the session, I have identified there's a lot of interesting things here, and I think I hear the vision, I hear the mission, and I hear the great efforts that the team try to put it together, to make this thing happen together. So actually, I have noted down a few key things here. I will classify as benefits I have been hearing of organizing and also making this effort of this business stimulations gaining on. So I hope you don't mind me. I just put a bit of I dare not to say compilation or conclusion towards the whole section, but I think a bit of my humble feedback, which I think I learned from you guys, and I really hope is something that I do identify correctly, and I'm looking forward for more greater effort from Mike and your team. It's really wonderful and superb. I look to see more. And a few things I really identified, there's 6 points I have noted down here. The first thing is I believe these stimulations gaming really accelerate the performance through experiential learning, because through this kind of opportunity, it essentially shows that you can not only participate, but you also impact on the learner's knowledge of the content of the simulation. Okay, this is something that I really identified the first point, which I see from you guys sharing. The second thing I really identify and noted down is building critical skills in a realistic environment via this kind of simulation gaming itself. I believe it actually build out the critical thinking for all the participants and the students or whoever the participants within this simulation gaming. I believe, Mike, this is what you want to achieve, right? You're not wanting people just purely playing the game, but you want them to build out a critical thinking along the line. Even though you haven't had a chance to go into the practical field, the battlefield, to work on as a businessman, but I think this opportunity will build out a critical thinking and provide the assessments and let everybody take in part, so that you know that in one day, when you really set your footing into the society, this is what you are roughly anticipating. Am I right to say that, Michael? Is it something that is in your mind when you guys are, working on this thing?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. So I'm basically reciting your point, so I hope I don't get it wrong. And third, I identify is actually this kind of events and opportunity will definitely deepen the learning through collaborations. Because as you see, not every chances that everybody from a different kind of role can have a chance under this same environment of this roofing of this kind of gaming, will be able to pick up this different roles. Sometimes you are accountants, you may not be a chance to be a financial guy. Sometimes you're a HR, you may not definitely have a role in the financial sectors as well. But this kind of opportunity will give you a chance to further deepen via the stimulations. And not only creating a content, but you also are picking up different kind of skill sets and soft skills along the line. What different divisional people will be involving with, and what kind of contents they'll be creating through these stimulations. So I think it's a great environment. It really deepens the learning, for all the learners as well. And the 4 points I have, picked up from you guys is this event will actually achieve an unprecedented engagement. Meaning to say, it increases the engagement in the learning when it involves a simulation or other similar interactive element. Because this gaming is not something that is fairly hard coded. It's definitely more interactions happening between. So I think this is something that will be something very interesting that will actually highlight and achieve unprecedented engagement among all the participants. The fifth point I identified was pretty much to provide a qualitative assessments of a data opportunity as well, because I believe apart from a gaming itself, it is also a chances for the participants and the organizers to involve in debriefing of all the important parts of the business stimulation. And then this debriefing will involve, they are offering some of the most valuable opportunities to learn from all the different business participants in this gaming itself. For example, when you talk about, debriefing, you obviously will be touching on these phases like, how do you feel about being part of this? How do you feel to be a financial guy? How do you feel now, Michael, to be the president of the company? How do you feel, Hugo, if you are the HR director of this company, managing the cases? You see, and what is next? You have a problem right now. Have you ever think of a solution to deal with it? You see, a lot of time in this real life scenario, a lot of time we may learn from the books, but practicality is not there for us to understand, how do we define what is the real jigs and the real things we need to be identifying. For example, you've been given a solution, you give you a scenario. So are you supposed to view on the problems, or are you supposed to give a solution towards the scenario? This is something I believe the stimulation of the gaming will really provide, this kind of debriefing. We need to ask why. We need to ask what. What is next? What should we be doing? And from here, we can always learn different skill sets and also the kind of soft skill the other contestants may have as well, the participants. It's very, very interesting. And then last but not least, finally, right? Last but not least, I think it provides employees, or the participants with the understanding of the wider strategic picture. You see, everything I believe before we step to the reality, the battlefield, the real business world, everything is within our head. I think business is interesting. I want to be Li Ka-shing one day, the real icon in Hong Kong or the global arena of Chinese business. Right nowadays, there's a lot of other icons we can. The Jack Ma, Elon Musk is of course one of those people, which is non-Chinese, but they're still one of the icons. People want to be there like them on that peak of our business career one day. Never know. But I always believe we dream big, but we start from small. I believe, Michael, you and your team, whatever you've been doing today, you have a greater vision and big dreams here. Okay, dare to dream. Feel free to dream whatever you want to achieve. If you don't have a dream, if you don't have this dream, I believe you'll be the poorest person because you have no aim. Right? Chinese always have a saying, 追捧嘅人唔係冇錢嘅人，係最冇夢想嘅人. The one that is poorest in the world is the one with no dreams. It's not the one without money. You have no money, you can have a chance to make it back. But if you don't have the dreams, you have no purpose and a goal and the aims of your life. So I think, Michael, you and your team, great team, have a big dream, big visions want to achieve. I want to wish you guys all the best. Please carry on this great effort. You have a great, guidance, like Oliver and Mr. Aaron here. Please make full use of them. There will be not stingy to share all their abundance experience in the past to you guys to enhance and broaden whatever perspective, and angles you want to know. And I wish you guys all the best. Sorry for a bit of long-winded here, but I'm really, really excited and really feel the ecstasy over my head because you guys are so motivated and inspiring. I really see you guys are inspiring things. Great effort. I want to see more of this thing happening, and hopefully one day I can be a humble part of this, of you guys' engagement as well, and maybe in Malaysia and Singapore. I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, CK. Thank you, Aaron, and the rest of the team. I may not remember every of your name, but I really think we will have more chances to get to know of each other. And I want to see more of this thing happening in a greater spectrum and arena as well. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you, Joseph. That's a very good piece of advice from Joseph and a closing from Joseph. Again, from IAMCP, we too wish IABMS BMS a great success because of this all the good effort that we see. It can really contribute a lot to the students and also the societies. So I believe that's all the time that we have today. Maybe I can pass the time back to you, Aaron, to say something before we end.
Okay, actually, thank you so much for everybody, especially Michael's team and all those ladies and gentlemen, and especially the closing remark delivered by Joseph. I learned a lot from you every day, no matter you're in Malaysia or in different kind of the event. So I do believe in the coming day we have a high chances to interact with each other. So as Joseph mentioned that, okay, feel free to leverage our resources, no matter in Hong Kong, Greater China, Malaysia, even in the UK or something like that. We have a lot of resources over there. So as a student, I do believe that you did it much better than me. Okay, your presentation, your sharing, your mission, I appreciate very, 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 very much. Okay, so maybe that's the time for us to say goodbye to everybody, and then let's have a chance to meet in the near future very soon. Okay, thank you.
Aaron,
thank you.
just a reminder, do you want to take a snapshot of everyone here?
Oh, sure. Okay. So maybe let me try to take a snapshot. Okay. The most important thing is that the ladies, if you are ready, and then I will kick the button. Okay. Be ready. Okay, I did it. Okay, so later on I will share with Michael. And Michael, I do believe that you should set up the group, so that's why we can interact with the ladies and all your teammates together.
Yeah.
So maybe they have some question to ask us. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So thank you very much for today's. Okay. Have a nice day and night or evening or something like that. Goodbye.
Okay. Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.